this is Jill with StampWithJill.com and Fun Stamper's Journey, and today we are going to learn how to use silks, and we are going to make this Thanksgiving card. So let me show you the products that we're going to use. We are using this Pretty Leaves die set, and we are using the Gather Together ATS stamp set with 3 Thanksgiving stamps. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to use our pumpkin bread card base, and we're going to fold that in half and use our crease tool to crease that up and set that aside. So I have a buttercream piece of cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 5, and the first thing we are going to do is we are going to stamp. So I'm going to use my Hazelnut Blend ink pad, and we are going to stamp Happy Thanksgiving on the bottom, like that. Super, super simple. And then we are going to put the silks on. So I have here Sparkle Silk, Dark Roast Silk, and Gold Silk. So these are super easy to use. They look like nail polish, but they're not. So you're going to shake these up a little bit, and then you are literally just going to tap the, it's so cool. You're going to tap the brush, and then you do it again, this time Sparkle Silk. So you don't want to wipe it off like nail polish. You want the brush to be kind of fully loaded. So this one's going to be hard to see because it's kind of clear and sparkly. And then you want to also make sure that you have some area around there because it is going to splatter more than just your card. All right, so this is Dark Roast. Kind of gives that fall splattery feel. All right, so now this does take a little bit of time to dry. I mean, maybe like 2 minutes. So I don't want to smear this, so I'm going to set this one aside. And actually, what we're going to do next is we are going to glue. I'm going to bring that back in. So bring that back in. And what we're going to do is we are going to glue this little piece of cardstock. You can actually do that without smearing the okay, so I'm using a little bit of craft glue because this piece is so small. You probably have, I'm going to have a hard time getting the tape runner on there. So we can go ahead. This is 1/4 inch by 5. I don't remember the color off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure it matches Hazelnut Blend, the ink pad, but I will make sure that there are links in the description so you know exactly what colors I used. So there we go. Now we're going to set this aside to dry, but I have pre-done one where the silk is totally dry. So I have pre-cut these intricate leaves. They're so easy to cut. They come and you just pop these out. So I'm going to put a little bit of craft glue. I'm going to glue this guy first. I don't use a ton because otherwise it will smear all over the card. So I try to get a little bit right here on the stem, like that. I'm going to have that one go on an angle this way. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I don't care that they're not totally stuck because it kind of gives a little bit of character when they pop off the page, as long as they're not falling off. All right, so then we are going to put this guy right here. I'm going to hold that down for a second. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to close up the craft glue. We are going to take a little piece of thread, natural thread, and I'm going to tie a bow. So this is how I tie my bows. I take the tail and I hold it in my fingers and make a loop, wrap it around, pull it through, and then I just sort of adjust the tails of the bow, and then we're going to just trim that off. All right, then I'm going to put a glue dot there and glue that on. But first I want to put a little pearl. So I have my pearls here, right above it, kind of give it a little bit more, just pull that off with my finger. So I'm gonna put a pearl right at the base of the leaf. And I should have my glue dots handy, but I do not. So hold on. Okay, back with my glue dots. So I just smush my little bow in here on my glue dots. And you kind of just want to work that smaller and kind of fold it over, and then you're going to glue it right on top of the leaves. All right, so now we are ready to finish off the card. This one is super, super quick. We're going to take some foam squares, and you can see that some of my splattering from my first silks wasn't totally dry when I put it back down on the placemat. You just want to be careful you don't mess up your card. All this, if it got on the front, it would just kind of blend in. So, and then what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to center this right on the card. All right, so it looks like it could use a little bit more dark roast. So, whoops, it's okay if you kind of get it on your card base. If you kind of want it to look splattery. All right, and there you have it. So I kind of like it when it kind of spills over onto the card base. And then for this guy, it does not, but it kind of blends in anyway. So you have two different options for using your silks. Thanks for joining me today.